Hey everyone, welcome to our show Timeout. I'm your host Trey Avant with my co-host, my brother Noah Avant, and this is a two-man webcast that discusses sports and entertainment. Before we begin, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. Just look for at Boca Tribune on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also follow the show on Instagram at the_timeout7. Huddle up, time for a timeout. All right, Noah, week 13 of the 2020 NFL season has wrapped up. Here are some of the results. The Dolphins beat the Bengals, the Browns beat the Titans, the Raiders beat the Jets, the Colts beat the Texans, the Rams beat the Cardinals, Washington beat the Steelers, and the Ravens beat the Cowboys. All right, let's get started with the Dolphins. What do you think about the Dolphins win against the Bengals?
It's a good win. Tua played very well. I think so. I mean, according to the stats. I mean, of course, North Carolina has a ban against the Dolphins games, I guess, being on our TV. But he played well. This is a big week as a Dolphin fan. We see the Chiefs this week. And this is kind of like a big mountain, like I'm not saying I'm expecting us to go out there and win this game. But if we can go out there and win this game, the rest of the season looks very promising. And honestly, a push in the playoffs would not be too far off.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Go ahead.
No, continue.
I do feel like our offense still needs a little bit of help. Playing against a team like the Chiefs, we're gonna have all hands on deck. Meaning Parker's going to have to play. Tua's going to be on his stuff. Gaskin is coming back this week, if I'm not mistaken.
Gaskin played last week.
He played last week. So Gaskin is back. He's got to play. But all these guys have got to go out here and do their thing. Defense has got to be on 10. We need Xavier to have another interception or a couple. It's going to be hard doing Pat Mahomes because he is a very talented quarterback. But honestly, projections for this week, I don't know. I really, truly do not know. What about you, Trey? What do you think?
I think the Dolphins had a good win against the Bengals. Like you said, Tua played good. Gaskin had 90 yards rushing, so he came back and he was great. Even though he did have a fumble at the end of the game, but it didn't really matter. Like you said, and the defense played great too. But I mean, it's the Bengals. What do you expect?
No Joe Burrow Bengals.
Yeah, no Joe Burrow Bengals. But with the Chiefs, I do think we're going to lose that game. The Chiefs are just way too talented, right? But like you said, we need all hands on deck. We need Tua to play amazing. Devontae Parker and all the other receivers need to play amazing. Gaskin as well. Howard, he has a very long streak right now of getting interceptions, right? I think that streak will be snapped because he will be guarding Tyreek Hill most of the game. And then you have Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. So, I mean, he might get an interception, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It might not. It's not going to amount to much. I mean, I think the Dolphins are talented enough to make the game close. I don't think we're going to get blown out. I think we're talented enough to make it somewhat close.
I agree. My thing was just like with a game plan with a receiver like Hill, you really have got to have and this is not going to be what you want to hear, but it really makes it look bad that y'all traded Minka last year.
It wasn't our fault. Minka was just
because
Minka didn't want to be great.
If Minka would have stayed and y'all have Howard on Hill and Minka over the top, it helps out just a little bit. Like it makes the secondary just look a little bit more intimidating. And Byron Jones, he's doing what Byron Jones is going to do. But like your safety, like that safety is the safety position for the Dolphins is lacking. And
Eric Rowe is a good safety. Bobby McCain kind
of. That's where you're lacking. When I say your safeties, I mean your frees and your strongs, both of them. If one of y'all is weak, both of y'all are weak. Because
I guess.
Because look at it, you only gonna guard one side of the field.
Mm-hmm.
One person. And, we don't necessarily have somebody that can go sideline to sideline like maybe a Cam Chancellor or Jamal Adams. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have somebody like that.
Yeah.
Rowe is good and isn't Rowe hurt? Didn't he get hurt in practice?
I'm not sure. I know he got hurt during the game. He almost had a concussion. Well, not almost had a concussion. He was tested for a concussion, but he got back in the game. So I'm assuming he didn't have a concussion. So I think he's fine now.
Which is it, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot. That's a lot. That is a lot. Like we need him to play. Like this is going to be a very big game for the secondary. The box is basically going to be the box. They're going to do what they're going to do on the run. They're going to do what they're going to do on the ground. It is what it is at that. But this game right here is going to be won through the air. If they're going to beat us, it is going to be through the air. They will not beat us on the ground, and that's obvious.
I agree with you. But moving on, the Browns beat the Titans. Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield.
Hey, this is like the Browns' first winning season in like years, right?
Yeah, I believe they're 8-3 or something like that. 9-3, I think.
Yeah, they're playing good. Baker Mayfield, he's doing his thing. I mean, I gotta give credit where credit's due. I'm still not sold on him as a quarterback, but I mean, I think they're doing very good this year.
Yeah, you're like a lot like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. was like, listen, the Browns are doing good. Baker Mayfield's doing good. I'm not gonna take back what I said about him.
I'm not, because I mean, let's be real. Let's truly be honest here. Baker Mayfield is in a position for him to be successful. They gave him Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry. They got Njoku. They got Nick Chubb back. He's in a position where all he has to do is he has the Ferrari. He just has to put the key in the car and drive. Right or wrong?
I mean, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, yeah,
I mean, he doesn't have Odell right now.
He doesn't have Odell right now, but he still has everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, were they really doing all of this when Nick Chubb was hurt?
I mean, they were still winning games. I mean,
they were winning games, but was it winning like this?
No, they weren't. They weren't.
I mean, could one even argue saying that Nick Chubb's the reason why they were really doing all of this?
It's possible. He has been going off.
I'm not trying to take no credit away from Baker Mayfield. I know this is a league where they live to get a quarterback all of the fame and glory, but let's call spade a spade. Before Nick Chubb came back, what were they doing? How are you game planning for that team as a defensive coordinator? They're not going to run the ball like that. Okay. Now they don't have Odell. Oh, good luck. Now they got Nick Chubb back. It's like, okay, hold on. We can't tee off on them like we wanted to. We can't run the same defense that we wanted to. Because now they got the guy back there that can run 100 yards plus on us. We got to play a little bit different now. So, I mean, we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see what else they do. Now, the Titans, I'm very upset with because Derrick Henry they got to do more for Derrick. They got to get him some more help. He can't be the only option, like the only weapon on that on that offense.
I mean, they have other good players on offense,
but they're not contributing because you're not supposed to lose to the Browns with that offense. I'm sorry. With an offense like that, you're not supposed to lose to the Browns. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could say, I mean, that's true, but sometimes teams have off days. I mean, look at the Cardinals. They just lost to the Rams. They have Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, but the Rams also have my boy Ramsey.
That's one. Well, I was gonna say they have one guy, but then they have Aaron Donald as well.
You feel me? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I guess
the Raiders beat down on the Jets. I mean, do we really need to elaborate on that? I think everybody beat down on the Jets.
Well, the Jets almost won that game, and then they fired the defensive coordinator because he did a cover zero, and the Raiders threw a Hail Mary. I would fire him too, to be honest with you. How you gonna do a cover zero? That means no safeties. When you know the Raiders are gonna throw a Hail Mary. And he threw it to Henry Ruggs, one of the fastest players in the NFL.
Okay. Where was the ball at again? Where were they at?
I don't remember. I think maybe like I don't know.
Were they on the Raiders side of the field or were they on the Jet side of the field?
I think they might have been in the middle of the field.
I mean, I can't make an excuse for that. I can't make an excuse for that. I was just saying for the Dolphins that their safeties had to play. So I mean, with Ruggs.
Yeah, like that was so stupid. Like all Carr did, he just dropped back. He said, "Oh, he's open." Throw it up. Like Ruggs just ran right past the corner. It was over. It was just a foot race. He just ran right by him.
I mean, when you get guys that can burst off the line like that, and Ruggs off the line speed is ridiculous. is really ridiculous. So it's like I couldn't imagine trying to. I would have called timeout as a player. Like, come on, coach, what are you doing? Something. Hello, no safety.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't want to think this through. I imagine when they got to play in the headset, dudes in the helmet, like, you sure?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we got this.
Like, hey, just play some good man. They say, hey, you got rugged. So I was like, okay.
I don't even know how you defend that. Like, you're not gonna jam him off the line. That's the last thing you're gonna do because he get past you. I mean, what you gonna do? You know where you're going. Down the field. You're not gonna run a post route. Nothing. He's not gonna do nothing else but run straight down the field. He's gonna try to beat you to the end zone.
It was sad.
Hopefully the ball's there.
That was sad. But moving on, the Colts beat the Texans. The only thing I want to talk about regarding that game is Deshaun Watson being emotional on the bench. This man going to demand a trade. This man demanded a trade.
And he just signed that contract too.
Yeah, that's the thing. He really messed up. He pulled a Bradley Bill. He pulled a Bradley Bill.
That's different though.
He signed the deal knowing the team was going to be bad. With hope. First of all, he had money on his mind. And on top of that, he had hope the team was going to be better.
Okay, but hear me out. The reason why the difference is a difference in the two, I feel like with the Brad Bill situation, John Wall did not like that they were going to basically build a team around Brad Bill. I honestly, that's what I feel like that was. I don't want to get into I don't want to miss football with basketball. Excuse me, basketball. But let's be real here. That whole situation is polar opposite of this. They didn't trade John Wall and get like Nick Young for him or Trevor Ariza. They got Russell Westbrook. If Deshaun Watson would have got traded to D-Hop and got
Chimera.
Right, you know,
it
like
would have been good.
Somebody comparable, it'd have been all right. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. But hey, cool, we got something. He has Will Fuller.
No, Will Fuller got suspended.
He had an old running back and Will Fuller, and Will Fuller's been there.
I understand why he was on the bench and he was crying and stuff. I mean, I would have been fed up too.
I would have demanded a trade that day. I'm not playing anymore. I'd have just sat the rest of the season. I pulled a Dez Bryant. I'm good.
I would say you traded away my best receiver and gave me this old running back, and then my best receiver got suspended. I have no help. Our best defensive player is getting old, and he can't contribute on offense because he's on defense. I need help. And our first round pick belongs to the Dolphins.
Thank you. First of all, first and foremost, thank you, Deshaun.
I can't even get help.
If I'm the GM, I'm the owner, that coach is fired at the end of the season. He's gone.
The coach is already fired.
He's gone? They did fire him?
Yeah, Bill O'Brien.
I don't keep up with those losers because they traded D-Hop off of some stuff. I have a problem with that whole situation. Like I said before numerous times, that is off the field. It's not he was acting like AB off the field. He had issues with the mother of his children coming up to the field house where they were practicing, and I guess the women were causing issues or drama at the field house, and the coach didn't like it, and he had them traded. That has nothing to do with you. That's more D-Hop's situation. You could discipline that at practice. You can handle that at practice. We've seen situations like that. We both play high school football. You know how when somebody act out in class. You know how to handle that. That right there, that situation should have not responded in your best receiver getting traded for pennies. That's not how it's gonna work. And honestly, this is karma. If I was Deshaun Watson that day, you should have demanded a trade. I would have said, you're trading him, I'm out of here too. Good luck. I don't want to play.
Exactly. And they released Kenny Stills.
Fools.
It's like they're tanking, but they don't have any picks. So it's like you might as well try to win. It's not like you're going to get anything at the end of the season. You have no first round pick. You have no second round pick. So it's like it's tough. But moving on, Washington beat the Steelers. Steelers is no longer undefeated.
Clap it up for them boys.
Alex Smith,
a team without a football name. They forgot it. They don't even have a name. They're a football team. What?
Generic.
I love it. Good. Shout out to them boys in Washington. Alex Smith, you got cleated, but you a tough man. You like, they don't hurt. That doesn't hurt me. I'm a G.
I broke my leg. This is nothing to
me. Scrumptious.
And yeah, Chase Young.
Like that. Huh?
Chase Young did his thing too.
He did.
Rookie of the year.
Like, yeah. It's good to see them boys lose. Yeah, that's all I really had to say about it. Just glad to see them boys lose.
Okay, moving on. The Ravens back and beat the Cowboys.
Hell, the Cowboys are another team that's just like, man, y'all just have one strand of bad luck after another. It's just like, goodness. The Ravens, Lamar turned the Cowboys into a pack the other day. Like he really turned them into a whole pack. Like, it was one play. I think like one of the first touchdowns he scored. The Red Sea spread. He just ran right on through. I was like, what are you doing? Completely untouched. Like, yeah, come on now. You know who you're playing against. Y'all have got to defend that better. And I really feel bad for the young guys. I feel bad for Dak. I know Dak's sitting at home watching this, and he's probably blaming himself. Like, man, if I never got hurt, we probably would have been playing a lot better. But it's just one of those things. When you get abused by that injury bug, it gets graphic real quick.
You think the Ravens gonna bounce
on? Who are they seeing this week?
I have no idea. I didn't.
I haven't kept up with it. Honestly, it's the time to do it. Like, they have not been playing to the best of their abilities, or at least to the best of the abilities that I think they should play to. So it's really just a sense of how and when.
Mm-hmm.
How and when. They gotta how they're gonna play better, and when are they gonna start playing better? Hopefully, this is that turn where they can do. Hopefully, they'll win out the rest of their conference, rest of the schedule, and then after that, you can't have bad games.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have a bad game after these next 3 or 4 weeks. So it's really up to you at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree with you. They got to win out in order to make playoffs, but hopefully not at the Dolphins' expense. But we have a commercial. You are watching Timeout with the Avant Bros. If you enjoy the show, please click the share button to share the stream with all your friends. Also, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for @Boca Tribune. You can also follow the show on Instagram at @the_timeout7. See you soon.
Information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why a paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has its pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.
Welcome back, everyone. Week 14 of the college football season has passed, and here are some of the results. Georgia Southern beat FAU. Number 1, Alabama beat LSU. Number 2, Notre Dame beat Syracuse. Number 3, Clemson beat Virginia Tech. Number 4, Ohio State beat Michigan State. Number 5, Texas A&M beat Auburn. And number 6, Florida beat Tennessee. No, what do you think when you're watching?
Let's talk. Let's change your wording for the Alabama game. They slaughtered LSU. If you
And three-headed attack. My gosh, Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, Najee Harris. It was like Madden. It was just like everybody was on road to glory.
right. It's like Mick Saban was sitting out here with the controller.
99 overalls, and they were playing on the same team. It was crazy.
Ridiculous. I'm
gonna change. I'm gonna change my hot take when it comes up because I got something I want to say about a particular receiver that plays for Alabama. But yeah, it's just LSU. They have a great. Well, okay, they have a great corner named Derek Stingley. He got destroyed by this receiver and Mac Jones. And then their defense got shredded by Najee Harris. And then Alabama's defense is outstanding. They have no holes. I know before I said Clemson is going to win a national championship, that's only because Trevor Lawrence is amazing, and they have a good run. They have a great running back in Travis Etienne, but they're not as well rounded as Alabama is. Alabama has like no holes. Like they have Clemson has a superior quarterback, but that's about it.
Yeah, Clemson had way too many close games that if Bama play those teams, they're not going to have a close game. But I mean, it's Alabama. I mean, it's kind of like seeing Kentucky with basketball or North Carolina or Duke. I mean, not this year, of course. They're not playing to their normal standards, but in normal situations, that's exactly what you would expect. It's going to be interesting to see with these top four. Because I know the season's starting to clock start to dwindle away, and eventually the top four are going to be selected. So it's going to be interesting to see what Texas A&M and Florida, what they do. Especially seeing that these top four teams have not lost in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Texas A&M and Florida to get in. I mean, I got to see the schedules for the other four teams. But recently I've seen Heisman Watch, and it looks like it's between Kyle Trask and Mac Jones. Who do you think will win out of those two? Or if you have a dark horse candidate that could win? Because Trevor Lawrence kind of dropped out when he had COVID. Justin Fields is still there as well. But I've seen, but he hasn't played enough games. Ohio State's only played a handful of games.
But he's not going to win. Honestly, it's probably going to be Mac. Yeah, think about it. Mac is the starting quarterback for the number one team in the nation. And this is what he just did last week against the defending national champions.
But LSU's not good this year.
At either rate, however you want to look at it, look at those numbers, man. And it does not hurt that his receiving core is arguably probably the best in the nation. You have weapons around you that it can make you look like Tom Brady out there. Like he really looked like a man amongst boys, and it really this whole season he's looked very good. It's hard for me to say Kyle Trask. I mean, while he's playing well, I don't want to take anything away from Trask. It's hard to to argue against number one.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that number one is there for a reason. So
I agree. But moving on, we're going to move on to college basketball now. Here are some of the results of the games played on December 8th. Number 3, Iowa beat number 16, North Carolina. Number 5, Kansas beat number 8, Creighton. Number 6, Illinois beat number 10, Duke. Number 12, Tennessee beat Colorado. Penn State upset number 15, Virginia Tech. Number 21, Rutgers beat Syracuse. And number 22, Ohio State beat Notre Dame. What do you think about this week's games, Noah?
This is like 2020 madness. Like, imagine if I would have told Noah of 2 years ago, hey man, 2020 is gonna come around. Iowa's gonna be number 3 in the nation. They're gonna beat Carolina. Duke's gonna lose to Illinois, and don't forget this. Baylor's gonna be number 1 in the nation, or it's gonna be a top 2 team in the nation. I look crazy. Like you're crazy. Like, that's wild to me.
And Kentucky is barely ranked.
Right. Right. Like, it's just this basketball season. I really feel like I can attribute most of this to just to COVID, not having your crowd there. North Carolina and Duke their crowds are known for what they do. They're known for being loud and rowdy. And when you don't have that extra teammate there, that truly could be the reason why a lot of these teams that we would normally see as better teams that play better, they're not playing so good right now because they don't have that help. Mm-hmm. Example, like the Seahawks. The Seahawks call their fans like what, the 12th man on the field?
Yeah.
Why? Because they literally set records. They have world records for how loud they are. Mm-hmm. Like their sound registers on a Richter scale. So you take that in consideration for at a school like Duke, for instance. Cameron Indoor Stadium is like the size of an average high school gym, but they pack it out. It is a very small gym. I've seen it. It's right next to their football field. It looks like crap because it's Duke. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
I didn't know it's that small. It looks bigger on TV.
It looks very big on TV, but it looks like a high school gym. I'm willing to bet your high school gym is probably bigger than it. Like, and that's just it. Like their tickets have like raffles. Like, you really have to, like, if you get the raffle ticket, you might be able to get in. Like, students don't get in for free. Like, you have to raffle in. It's the same thing at Carolina. Carolina's gym is even bigger. The Dean Dome is huge, but it's still packed out. You don't have that crowd anymore. It's just sneakers and you. You don't have anybody to cheer you on when you dunk the ball or when you drain that 3, you know, or when you make that really big play to ooh, like, you don't have that. And I feel like with a lot of these teams, that's starting to affect them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the blue bloods, like you said, especially, you know, I agree with you. You know, they kind of got to motivate themselves because there's no one to, like, hype them up, you know? I mean, yeah, you have your teammates and your coaches, but, you know, they're supposed to do that, you know? But it's like, I mean, you don't have a crowd that can do it, you know, it's just not the same.
Like, I wish, I don't know if they're doing this, but I wish they would do like what the NBA did and kind of have like an artificial sound.
Yeah,
just to kind of mimic it.
I don't know if they have that capability because, you know, I don't know how expensive that is. I don't know.
I mean, you have music playing over the intercom. I'd imagine you could just look up some sound and just play it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they don't do that. But I don't know because every school probably won't be able to do that. It's probably a competitive thing.
I mean, listen, if we're gonna talk about that, that's all. That kind of really takes us into the HBCU thing for our out of bounds topic. But when you don't have the funding for, I mean, it is what it is. They're not saying that about Clemson when they built that massive field house for them for football. Oh yeah, they have an unfair advantage or their training. That's a really unfair advantage right there. Like, you got a whole recruiting tool right there. Who don't want to slide in their field house? Leave the locker room. I'll holler at y'all boys. Whee! Like, what? Come on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see where you come from. I agree with you. But like you said, with our next segment, we're going to venture out of bounds with this question. how do you feel about HBCUs gradually being more inclusive? Noah, since you go to an HBCU right now, I would like you to lead the segment.
Actually, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Well, recently there was a Twitter post where it was this woman. She was Caucasian. She was basically saying how proud she is to go to Spelman College, which is a all women's HBCU in Georgia, right across the street from Morehouse College. Um, and people were pretty much saying like, "Hey, why are you going to that school? There are plenty other schools in the area you can go to that are PWIs that you can get into. I don't know why you're going to Spelman." Da, 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 da. And people were basically saying, giving their thoughts on the situation. I mean, this is nothing new. You know, colleges are for everyone nowadays. Anybody, you can go whatever college you want to. You know, um, white people have been going to HBCUs for a long time now. I mean, obviously, they're still the minority, but they've been going to it. I have no problem with people of other races or ethnicities going to HBCUs because with the simple fact that not all, I guess Caucasians or whatever, Asians, whatever people at a higher status or Indians, they're not all rich, not all wealthy. They can't just go, hey, I want to go to UCLA and just go to UCLA or go to USC, Like, for example, Florida A&M, probably the most famous HBCU in Florida. If you live in Tallahassee, but, you can't get into Florida State, and Florida A&M is like right there, you might as well go there. You can get the same quality of education. It's cheaper. It's still close to home. You might as well go there. I don't really see a problem with that if it's convenient. Now, if you start doing other stuff on campus, like, doing questionable activities, obviously it's a problem. But as long as you go there and just be a normal college student, I don't really see a problem with it.
I mean, I go to HBCU. I go to North Carolina A&T for our new viewers at home. Will soon be an alum in May. I'll be graduating. But seeing it firsthand at my school, it is a little weird. Just on the side, like, because there's black kids that are in that same situation, and they may not get them necessarily. They may not get the financial aid, or they may not get the scholarship that the white students are going to get, or other minority students they're going to get because they're a minority on campus. Like, some of those kids, like in North Carolina, if you're an engineer, if you want to go to school for engineering, it's only a couple of schools you really can go to. You go to NC State, you go to Charlotte, or you go to A&T. You want to go to ag school. If you want to go be something to do with agriculture, you either going to go to NC State or you're going to go to A&T. Like, from that standpoint, I understand. But it's a lot more to it that goes. It's a lot more that goes into it than just like I want to go to HBCU. It's levels to this. Because we're not going to school. You get a scholarship for being black, Trey, at FAU?
I do not.
I exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I wish I did, though.
A lot of people wish they did. Like, I have friends that go to Carolina. They're in student loan debt, just like everybody else. They have a lot. Why? They didn't get a scholarship, but a lot of these non-black kids are going to schools or going to HBCUs. They're graduating loan debt-free. They have nothing to worry about. So, like, I'm gonna go on and say I don't necessarily have a problem, but I do feel like they should not be actively recruiting like they do. Like, I'll compare my 4 years at A&T. My freshman year, there was a couple of white kids on campus. You kind of saw them, but you kind of knew what they were. They're going to either be engineering or ag. My sophomore year, started seeing more. My junior year, started seeing more. And, of course, due to COVID, now I really don't see as many. I don't really see much of anybody now because I work on campus and nobody's really there. But the numbers are still growing. And it's just like, okay, I get what you're trying to do. If you show that you're a more diverse school, you get more state funding. But how do you necessarily build a school worry about a school being diverse when the minority, in a sense, is what makes the other schools diverse? The main thing that you need at a PWI to make your school diverse is a whole school in itself.
Mhm.
So you see what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I really feel like as HBCUs, they should be more cognizant of what they're doing. Don't be so quick to take money from the state just because it's a diversity thing and you'll get a little bit more money when it's a cultural thing. A lot of those, like that young lady who made the post, she seems like she's done her research on Spelman. Now, granted, some of the language on the post was a little fetishy. She did kind of seem like it was like I'm going on a mission trip to Africa, like type thing, like type pose. I'm like,
Yeah,
relax.
it was questionable.
Relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, relax a little bit. Like, you're going to Atlanta. You're not going to Benghazi. Relax. Like, chill.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really my main thing. Like, relax. Take a chill pill. We get it. You're happy you're going to HBC. You're going to Spelman. As a great school. My uncles went to Morehouse right across the street, like you said. So it's just like, I get it. I see what you're excited about it, but there's a way you go about things and there's a way you don't go about things. And that was just not the best way to go about it. She should have just really just enrolled, hey guys, I'm transferring to Spelman, and just left it at that. Not this grand Instagram post that gets you clout.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it looked like. It looked like I want clout.
Yeah. Like, oh, look at me. I go to HBCU.
Yeah, look at me.
I bet you. Like, look how rare it is for me to be there. I don't know.
Whack.
Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's a regular school, just like everybody else. Just go there. Just go there, get your education.
Yeah. Now, if you're gonna go out there, if you're gonna go there and make this big of to do something, you better graduate and do something great and give back to your alum, to give back to your school.
That's how you really know, like, it was real and not just like for clout.
Because I guarantee you, when she graduates and she tosses that cap, she's not gonna do a thing for Spelman.
Never mention the school again.
Exactly. It'll just be known on her resume. She probably not even mention it.
You know, let's see you went to Spelman. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we got off that. We got a little hot on that take. So let's get to these hot takes.
Yeah, man. Let's get to it. All right, man. So, like I said earlier with Alabama, you know, the receiver, I mentioned him earlier. I believe the Miami Dolphins will draft Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith is statistically the best receiver Alabama has had. Statistically, I mean, obviously, you know, when you factor in like NFL stuff and like just greatness in general, you're going to say Julio Jones. But statistically, numbers don't lie. Devontae Smith has probably been the best receiver Alabama's ever had. He leads them like 2 years in a row now in touchdowns and yards, and I think receptions as well. He's been absolutely amazing. When you read his scouting report, he has no weaknesses. His only weakness is that he's skinny. He's like, 6 foot tall, 175 pounds. That can easily be fixed once he gets to the NFL. Trust me, they're gonna fix him really quickly.
A couple protein shakes.
Extremely quickly. They're gonna get him swole immediately. And the Dolphins get number one receiver. I mean, we have Devontae Parker, who's good, you know. But after him, it's like, who else do you have? You draft Devontae Smith, who already has a connection with Tua. They played together. Last year, Tua was throwing dimes to him. Before Tua got hurt, obviously. Tua was throwing dimes to Devontae Smith. They already have the connection. I think it'll be great. I
agree. So, my hot take, my Philly fans out there, they're gonna eat this up. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna take you guys to the wild card, and maybe even the playoffs. Looking at your guys' schedule this week, y'all have the Saints. Probably not gonna win that game. Keeping it hot, y'all not gonna win this game. But they do have the Cardinals next week, Trey. The week after that, and then the week after that, they have the Cowboys. And the last game of the season, they have the Redskins. The football team. Right about now, the Giants are number one in their division. Yes. The thing with the Giants is this: the Giants are not going to win the rest of their season. Like, their schedule towards the end of this year is not looking good. I think they have like the Ravens, like second to last game, dub, complete L. They have the Redskins. That's not the Redskins. They have the Cardinals this week. They have the Browns the next week. The Redskins the week after that. And they had the Cowboys the last game of the season. They're not beating anybody in that list. They're not. Let's be honest here. They're not beating the Cardinals. They're not going to beat. We were just talking about how good the Browns are playing, and they're definitely not going to beat the Ravens. They might squeeze out the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys might mess around and win that game. And then second on the list is the Redskins. And the Redskins, I keep calling them the Redskins. The football team. Football team, they're second in the division. And their conference, their games right there are not very winnable. You know, like the thing with them is just like Alex Smith is playing good, but who else is he gonna throw the ball to? Like, and when you're seeing the 49ers one week, then you have the Seahawks the next week, then you have Carolina the week after that, and then you ultimately have to beat this team right here. So even if they manage to split and their last game they need to win, they're playing against Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts is like, this is really like the time for him to really take Carson Wentz's spot. Like, I would not be surprised if they sent Carson Wentz packing after this year after paying him all of this money. Carson Wentz is going to be going home. He's going to be somewhere else, or he will not be starting for this team anymore. Jalen Hurts is going to take them all away. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Roles have been reversed. Jalen Hurts lost his job to Tua, and then look at Jalen Hurts taking Carson Wentz's job.
I literally left a whole fan base for this man because I said this guy right here is what Pittsburgh needed, and they passed on him. And look at him now. I'm telling you, he's going to take the Eagles to the wild card. Watch what I say.
Okay. I like that. I actually agree with you. But all right, guys, that's it for today's show. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to the Boca Raton Tribune on all social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just look for @Boca Tribune. You can also follow the show on Instagram at @the_timeout7. Follow me on my personal Twitter @TreyAvant3.
You can follow me at ArcBuilder Noah on Instagram and Who Builds Arcs on Twitter.
Timeout airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. As always, this is the Avant Bros signing off.
Break.
Hey, we're gonna add that in there.